Yo, yo, yo. Alright. I need to turn that down probably. It's a struggle between like start the video over again, keep myself cool, but also make it to where you guys can hear me and not like the AC, but yeah, that's what it is. Yo, hi, good morning, hello. Okay. As part of like this 12-part introductory series, I'm not really sure the release schedule yet, but I got one for you guys, and I really want y'all to sit with this for a while, okay? If somehow you've clicked into like my little series thing, right, project, whatever, and maybe you're just hearing my voice, maybe there's no video for you available, and at this point, if you've really been listening, you might be a little confused because I'm gonna be real, I probably don't sound like what y'all thought I was gonna sound like. Alright, that is the lead off for today. We're gonna be talking about, obviously, color identity, but guys, listen, I don't want that to just be a race thing. Alright? I'm gonna give you like a real quick, the word's not really synopsis, but like let's go synopsis, okay? I grew up like, let's start here. I grew up in Las Vegas, right? And so part of the Vegas culture is that we really get like the world. Does that make sense? Like everybody's traveling there, everybody wants to, like party there or find success there, whatever. Usually it's like go to paradise, not actually Las Vegas. That's the little one. That's just a little nugget that like if you're actually from there, you get a little irritated when people are like, oh yeah man, I know all about Las Vegas, and it's like, no you don't. You know the Strip. Shut up. Sorry, I'm not going to be mean the whole video. It's just like that. Okay. But I grew up in Las Vegas, right? And because we have, like, everyone coming in, diversity isn't just, like, a tagline, man. It's the known, right? But not like New York where it's diversity, but everyone's still like in their cliques and their bubbles, right? Like they still hover into their socialite groups or their ethnic groups. Sure. It really is like everybody's everybody out there, and so I mean that in a couple different ways. Stick with me for a second. I really want to get off this point and get into like what color identity to me really means. But hold on. Everybody's everybody in the sense that, like, I didn't see wealthy people, right, as, like, white. I didn't see poor people as, like, colored. I didn't see smart people as, we're not going to go there because I'm not going to go through all the stereotypes. But y'all get what I'm saying, okay? Again, everyone was everyone, right? And so that affected me developmentally, that affected me cognitively, and that affected me insofar as like, who I'm willing to become, if that makes sense, right? And also like what people can tell me about me, which is very, very, very little, yeah? In Vegas, everyone can make money, and in that same day, everyone can lose all of that they just got, okay? Everyone can, attain higher education if that's, like, their goal, right? Because, like, the teachers out there have this understanding, too. Like, we're not just teaching to, like, the higher class of citizen or whatever. Like, we don't know who's going to come in this year. So everyone should be taught effectively. I'm not going to say that, like, at the time, Las Vegas's education system was whatever. My real belief is, like, there is no such thing as higher or lower tier education, right? There's higher and lower tier teachers. There's higher and lower tier understanding, right? And that understanding is you get what you put in. You get out what you put in. Okay? All of that little melting pot of idea right there, right, creates us, I guess. You know, in that way of like, people say that I sound, and this is an irritant, so understand that I'm not saying this to keep the conversation going. It's just like, I know what's said, but people say I sound white, which, like, is stupid, right? You can't sound a color unless you're able to like maintain a tone at a color's frequency range. We're not going there, but you understand what I mean. You don't sound a race, okay? You sound an education level, right? And educational opportunities maybe aren't provided to everybody in the same way, but in Las Vegas, that's not really the case, man. I'll give you guys like a little story. Me and my buddy at the time, I feel like it's actually Rahman, but my nickname for him was Roman numerals, because like we were kids, and that's hilarious for some reason. I don't know, but like my other little bestie, yeah, me and him were in orchestra together, okay? Spoiler alert, we're both black. We're in orchestra, we both picked like instruments that weren't the violin, okay? And if y'all know a little bit about like orchestra, and if you guys know a little bit about seating arrangements, right, you'll understand that like first seat, the people who like actually sit up front during concerts, is kind of special, okay? Me and him, always first seat. I played viola. I think he also played viola, but I don't want to like cap it there. Yeah. I picked viola for like the generalized hipster reason, like everybody's gonna pick violin, and I don't want to be everybody, you know what I mean? So not only are we first seat, but we're first seat above, you know, like the stars of the orchestra, or whatever that means, okay? So literally, when I'm telling you guys, like, developmentally speaking, anything's anything in Vegas, okay? It's not the... I hate doing this, guys, I'm sorry, but it's not like the white guy with the money gets thrown ahead of everyone. Like, no, it's the person who's either super lucky, right, or worked his ass off, period. Alright? So all that to say, color identity ends when we decide to be other than, okay, what someone else tells us we are. Alright, that's a long statement, and y'all have time in the comment section or whatever to break it down, but I want to move it on to like what this was actually supposed to be about. Y'all, for a little bit, I was really into like the electronic dance music scene, right? And so before the word festivals became like socially acceptable way to describe, you know, like going to an EDM concert, right? Because that's what they actually are. The word was rave, right? So I was like huge into rave culture musically. Calm down. And there is such this vibrancy of color, right? Not, again, we're off race now, but like literally, like colors are just the world, okay? And if you grow up in like arcades, or you grow up in these places where, you know, like a lot of EDM is banging, as it were, right? And man, there's just like speakers going off and light shows going with it, and people with the gloves doing all their cool stuff, whatever, right? Like, you get entrenched in this experience, right? And so for me, as I moved away from the scene, because like once it became about, we're not going to use those words here, once it became about like some of the more underhanded walks of life, as it were, right? I separated myself because, like, for me and my little group when we started, we were the sober ravers, right? We were like the straight edge, boring kids. Listen, we didn't stay that way, and that's a conversation for another life or day, but it was literally about the music for like the first couple of years, right? And so we took all of that, well, I at least took all of that experience with me, right? And just like the happiness, let's say, right? And I use it to, like remind myself now and then. So I like, hold up, conveniently, I have a water bottle. Check this. I like all kinds of stuff, like super nerd, sorry, right? Literally, like all kinds of stuff. Okay, but one of my favorites is this little dude right here. This is a rainbow. This is just colors. Alright? As a June baby, it's a little annoying that like a group took something that's, God gave us as a sign that he's never going to kill all of us again, and they co-opted it into like this, right? But that's not an attack. Like, all people are all people, and I love you guys equally. But I want to be poignant, right? In what this is supposed to be, right? No matter what someone wears, no matter what someone likes, no matter what someone chooses to invest their time and energy into, right? That doesn't reflect, okay, on the completeness of that person. Meaning, this is going to be fun. I'm never really going to be like the politic guy, but I've seen Democrats who like guns, right? I've seen Republicans who care a lot about social justice, okay? I've seen moderates, right, who talk a little bit more like Nazis, okay? I've heard the socialist agenda, and honestly, if you understand what the word social means, right, it's fine. Okay? But again, this isn't a politic channel. We ain't gonna go there. It's about color. Right? This rainbow on my water bottle, and it's gonna stay there until I die. It means I like rainbows and clouds and rain and lightning, right? It doesn't mean anything else. Okay, we need to get out of this bully culture. We need to get out of this everybody needs to like this little box of things, okay, in order to, maintain their guyness or their girlness or their whatever. Like, all women have to wear dresses. No, they don't. All guys have to wear pants. No, they don't. Honestly, clothes kind of suck. Hopefully, in more than less of my videos, I won't have to be like dressed up, but sometimes I will because I like to, right? Color is just that. It's just the reflection of light energy coming back to you. I could go like the physics route, but I want to do like a Hey Smart People channel so we can get like cool dialogues going. So we're not going to do all that science stuff here. We'll do it later, I promise you guys. Like my passion project is neuroscience, so we are definitely going to keep it educational, but just like not right now. Okay. Anyway, before I loop too much, I think that might be a good sticking point, okay? So I'll dive into it one more time. It doesn't matter what your favorite color is. It doesn't matter what color you wear. It doesn't matter what color you are. It matters who you are, okay? Who you are. And you don't get to judge people on what they like as long as what they like isn't y'all know. There are some things that, like, hey man, if that's your thing, like, I need to watch you. Do you understand? There are bad, there are bad things, okay? There are. We need to get out of that like everything's okay mentality. It's not. But insofar as like what you like, as long as it's not hurting anyone or yourself, that's key. Not a lot of people add in that next part. As long as it's not hurting anyone or yourself, okay, it's fine. Right? So let me be one of the first straight men to tell you, we're taking rainbows back. Alright? That's mine again. Because I grew up in the rave scene. Not really, but you get my meaning, I hope. And again, don't make this about attacking other people. Okay? That's not fair. Right? I don't have hate in my heart no matter who it is that you sleep with. I would just rather not need to be a part of that conversation with you. Does that make sense? Like, I don't need to know people's kinks just because I don't know you, and I don't want to know that about you. I want to know your soul. I want to know who you are. Are you a good person? And that is it. Hang out with me. Are you a bad person? And that's it. Probably don't hang out with me. Okay? But don't be afraid to like something because you're worried about how someone else is gonna view you while you enjoy the thing that you like. Okay? I have pink shirts. Look at me in the soul. I look fucking sexy in pink. I'm kidding. No, really, I'm kidding. But, like, it doesn't matter, okay? Wear what you like, do what you like, be who you like. Don't feel like because you're born something, you have to be part of the stereotype of that something. Alright? Let's get rid of the word stereotype. You know, while we're building this, like, morally positive, morally good galactic community, because that is the goal, okay? While we're building that, let's focus on, man, getting rid of some of the just trash in our consciousness, okay? And I think we can start with getting rid of stereotypical thinking, right? If y'all are still struggling on that one, reach out. Let me know. Again, probably don't reach out in the comments because, like, every time I'm gonna say this, like, I know I'm biting myself later because, like, God will turn it on me, and then all of a sudden I'll have, like, the most positive comment section, you know, on YouTube. And then I'd be like, nah, well, now I have to eat crow or whatever. But, like, no, look. Reach out in email, and again, I'll put that eventually somewhere, okay? I think that's it, guys. Be who you want to be. Don't be who someone tells you have to be. And stop trying to be someone else that you think reflects who you're not, right? Everybody is the perfect version of themselves for this time, right? Tomorrow, we can all get better, but right now, stop feeling like if you're not that guy, you're not better. If you're not that girl, you're not better. If you're not that they, you're not better. I'm not going to use that one too often, but, like, you get me, okay? I'll try to be inclusive, but, like, also, I think I'm getting old, and it's just hard to. So, everybody's everybody. Stop trying to focus on where we're different. Living where we are all the same, and that's in love. Alright, guys. Hey, I love you. I might have to do a director cut on this one, for sure. Just because I really don't want to, like. Nah, it doesn't matter. I may or may not. Who cares? I love you guys. Be safe out there. Be you. Love you.